Hello and welcome to Bizburgh. I'm your host, John Hall. Today, the program is sponsored by City Mission of Washington, Pennsylvania. Look for City Mission on the web at citymission.org. Joining us today is the president and the CEO of City Mission, Dean Gartland. And Dean, friend, it's always a pleasure to check in because I love City Mission and the work that you do changing hearts and minds to Jesus.
Well, it's great to be here, John, and it's always a pleasure talking with you.
Dean, I'm looking at City Mission the other day. I follow, of course, along on social media, and on Instagram, one of somebody within the organization at City posted a photograph of, I believe, the very first church service held at City Mission many decades ago. You've seen the photograph, have you not?
I have, yes. Boy, I'll tell you what, that takes you, it really does take you back several years. I wasn't there, John.
Well, I wasn't going to tag you in that, but I'm glad you brought that up, Dean.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. But I mean, to look at that photograph, I mean, it's, what you'd imagine. What year was that, Dean?
Well, that chapel service probably was more around, I'm going to say somewhere in the 50s. Okay. City Mission actually started in 1941 and had a couple of places here in Washington where it was located, and it kind of made its way. So that photo was probably more in the 50s.
Well, I mean, it's a striking photo. I mean, I bring it up because I really had to pause and look at it for a good long time, because it's a small room. Maybe there's, I don't know, 30, 40 people in attendance, men and women, a pastor standing, of course, alone at a small podium. And you think, I mean, God is so good. From those very, very humble, meager beginnings, having no idea, decades and decades later, all the different lives, the men, the women, the children, the veterans, all those lives that were changed for the good. And it starts just one small mustard seed forward. And there's great strength and power in that.
Oh, absolutely. And when you think about it, Burt McCausland, who is a pastor here in Washington and a businessman, but he had experienced this, when he saw person with alcohol problem was being, ushered out of an establishment, and his thought was simply, boy, there should be a place for people like this to go who didn't have a place, needed help. And so out of that simple care and concern that Reverend McCausland had for this individual, really what birthed the City Mission back in 1941.
Fabulous. So, Dean, let's talk present day. But of course, the engine, the work that City Mission does involves hundreds and hundreds of people on a daily basis. And especially during these very difficult COVID times where protocol has to be followed very carefully, that requires a lot of people all moving in the same direction. And with that, all those people, there's also a large financial piece of this as well. I mean, you've got full-time employees, part-time employees, there's meals, there's chapel, there's, laundry, there's all the different things of what it is to be alive in this 21st century. And of course, all that requires money to drive that. Now, I know that for many years, you've done a fundraiser, which has been the highlight of the City Mission work. It's something called Sweet Sunday, and I've attended in the past. It's really a great celebration of the community around you in Washington, Pennsylvania. And of course, Sweet Sunday, the name implies there's a lot of sweetness, whether it's from the hearts of people or of the treats, all the desserts, the chocolate, the celebration that takes place. Now, of course, with COVID this year, because COVID ruins everything, you're not going to be in person with Sweet Sunday this year. You'll do a virtual Sweet Sunday. And I guess the problem is, I mean, if you could do a virtual Sweet Sunday and everybody could just reach out and have some sweet treats and then give in accordance with that, that'd be a good thing to do. But it's a very difficult thing, isn't it?
It is, and this is, the challenge around this obviously is the fact that, here we are. I mean, this Sweet Sunday has been going on for many, many years, and it is our biggest fundraising event of the year. But during this situation that we're in, we've had to kind of figure out a way to change this, to continue to have the event, but have it differently. And so this whole idea of the virtual event, we've been planning this and working on this for several months now, trying to figure out how we were going to do this. So I think we've got it kind of figured out here, and it's still going to be a great event. It's just that it's going to be virtual, and we still are looking for folks who want to be sponsors. We're still looking for some vendors who really want to be able to put their suites out there. So for those of the people that are listening that have attended Sweet Sunday over the years, I want to encourage them to continue to follow us here, because the event will be February 28th, and we will have many of the same elements that they're used to and going to the event. We are going to have some live music. Scott Blasey from the Clarks is going to do a concert, a live Facebook concert for us on that Sunday. We're also going to have auction items that are going to be put up online 2 weeks ahead of time, so that people have time to be able to look at them, look at the auction items, decide on what they would like to bid on and so forth, and and that's just a great, fun time to be able to do that. We have sponsorship opportunities for people, even those who just want to donate. They can go online and just donate to the city mission as a result of that. But that's so we're really looking forward to this. People are still going to be able to buy suites. So we have a number of vendors already online that are going to provide their suite items, and so people are going to be able to buy them online, and we're going to have a slew of volunteers that are going to be driving those purchased suites, and we're going to be delivering them to their homes, and so that people don't even have to come to the mission to pick it up. We will deliver them to their home. So this it's going to be an interesting way of doing this event. We are absolutely extremely grateful for all those that have come over the years, for all the vendors who have participated, for all of our sponsors who have participated over the years. So we're encouraging everyone, if you've done this in the past, if you've been part of Sweet Sunday, either as a volunteer or as a sponsor or just as a donor, please continue your tradition of being a Sweet Sunday involved person, and continue to support Sweet Sunday. It is our biggest fundraiser of the year, and we're certainly hoping to be able to see a good bit of folks be able to continue to participate.
Fabulous. February 28th, the annual Sweet Sunday that benefits the City Mission in Washington, PA. So, Dean, on the 28th, the event, of course, goes live. And as you said, things are happening right now online. So I would imagine people would go to the City Mission website, citymission.org. Now, is there an official start time of the event, or just does it open up, at any particular time on the 28th?
No, it's going to be from noon to 6, which is normally the regular time that everybody's used to Sweet Sunday. So, we'll be drawing the auction item numbers. We actually will even have a wreath of wealth valued at $3,500 of all kinds of gift cards. Which is very popular at Sweet Sunday, where people can buy a ticket, and we'll be pulling those tickets for people to win some of these prizes. It's going to be really a fun time. It's always been a family fun event for people to come, listen to entertainment, be able to bid on auction items, buy the tickets for the wreath of wealth, and so all those things are still going to be in place. But it's just that it is going to be a day of a lot of activity, but most of it will be, all of it's going to be live online. But people are going to be able to bid and follow the same basic format as we did in the past.
Fabulous. So if you just joined us, this is Bizburgh. I'm John Hall. Today the program is sponsored by City Mission in Washington, Pennsylvania. We're speaking with Dean Gartland. Dean is the president and the CEO of City Mission. Dean, let's move forward. What I love is when we talk from time to time, you'll always bring a resident of the City Mission. And today I'm really excited to speak with Travis C. Travis, welcome to the show.
How you doing?
Real good. Hey, thanks for being with us, Travis. I mean, it requires a measure of courage to step out and come on the radio like this. So, Travis, if you don't mind, when we bring residents on from the city mission, they always talk to us about their experience and as they found their way into the mission. So, would you start from perhaps the very beginning and talk about your life, the chaos with drugs and alcohol?
Well, first of all, life wasn't the greatest growing up. And that's not why I did drugs and alcohol. But at 15, I found drugs and rolled with that for pretty much about 20 years till I was 35. I went to rehab. I met Doug Bush in rehab, and Doug Bush is the sole reason that I am here right now. The mission is the reason that I'm still clean today. Today is actually 4 months that I've been clean. Fabulous. So I'm kind of excited about that. That's the longest I've went since I've been 15 years old, which is crazy to say, but that's the honest to God truth right there.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's powerful. And Travis, what I love is, and you know this, I mean, when you go into the rooms, whether it's NA or AA, I mean, people stand up and they'll go, I've been sober for 30 years, or I've been sober for 40 years. And I think, man, how's that even work? And then guys come in and they'll go, well, I've been sober today. I've been sober the last 2 hours, or, even sometimes people say, I'm drunk right now. I'm high right now, but I'm in these rooms and I'm trying to start over. So I appreciate all that. There's some power in that. So 4 months, that's nothing to take lightly at all. And I appreciate that you appreciate it as well. So there's something there. Now, talk about that. I mean, to walk into City Mission itself, that requires a measure of surrender, doesn't it?
Oh, most definitely. I had no idea this place even existed. Like I said, Doug Bush came every Sunday night and spoke at the rehab I was at. I had no idea who he was, and literally within 30 seconds, I had fallen in love with that man. He's a great person, and he's the whole reason that I had came here, and I'm so glad that I followed him here, because my life would not be what it is today if I would not have done that. I have no idea what I would have did if I'd have just went back to the same place I was at as soon as I got out of rehab. I know for a fact I wouldn't be clean. I know I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. I can't explain to you how grateful I am about that.
Then talk about rehab. I mean, people see, if you've not been in rehab, of course, people, see rehab, in movies or television and whatnot. And, there's a peak inside. And of course, every rehab is different. And especially every rehab is different in the way that they look at God. I mean, in the 12 steps in AA or NA, they talk about, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. And that to me is such a powerful call, right? That an alcoholic or an addict like yourself and like myself, you're living decade after decade in some measure of insanity, and to surrender to that, to surrender to a new life, that's a gigantic moment. And for you, 4 months sober, talk about City Mission and the power of that came to believe in that surrender.
There's just hope here. I mean, it's not written on the walls, but it's written all over the walls everywhere you go. You just see hope. I mean, there's people here that have drug and alcohol problems, and you see how they've been doing it, and people that don't still. I mean, they just want to see us do good. The people that take this place for what it is truly do gain so much here. I went full circle with that, to be totally honest, and I'm at the part where whatever they ask me to do here, I'm going to do, because my way doesn't work, and their way definitely works.
Wait, so what do you mean you went full circle?
Just, came in here. I didn't want to really do a whole lot when I got here, and that kind of changed pretty quick. Just seeing the people that were doing what they were supposed to be doing, how happy they were, and the people that weren't pretty much. So they give you the choice here. They give you enough rope to hang yourself or enough rope to get yourself better, and I jumped on that and just ran with it.
Fabulous. Okay, so 4 months sober. Now, I've talked to people in City Mission. They've been there for, a while. I mean, I know it's one day at a time, but of course, everyone thinks, at least near future. What do you think? What are your plans?
Near future, I really don't have too many plans other than just going day by day, like you just said, trying to stay clean for that day. I feel good when I wake up here. I feel safe here, which I never felt safe. I can't tell you the last time I felt safe, but I feel safe here. So that makes me want to do better. It makes me want to feel everything that I haven't felt for decades, to be totally honest. Everything's new. Every day is a new excursion, a new beginning, realistically. I mean, everything here is just great, to be totally honest, if you take it for what it's worth.
That feeling of safety, a lot of people don't have that. So to even express that feeling, that's a powerful sentiment. Talk about, the outside. What about family? I mean, for a lot of addicts, I'm clean, and then you go back out again. Family gets burnt so bad. So a lot of family, they lose trust in the addict or the alcoholic. They just think this is how this guy's going to be until he takes his last breath. Have you talked to family?
Hit or miss. I'm working on that in therapy right now, to be honest about it. I was the type of person that would just leave and you'd get a phone call 6 months later and I'd be in Nevada. I was never real close with my family, to be totally honest, and it was always just easier to run. This is the longest I've been in one place in many years, and I've been in Washington for about 6 months now. And like I said, I'm the type of guy that I'm just out the door, I'm gone. So me staying here says something about this place for sure.
That's really good. All right. I mean, the idea that you're putting down roots, what about roots in faith? That's a huge leap. I mean, a buddy of mine, when he first got sober, and he had no faith at all. And he would say, well, my only higher power is my work boots, because when I put my work boots on, I know that I'm going to go make a buck, and that's enough for me. I mean, I get that. But, at some point, you got to surrender to a higher power. So can you share a little bit with that of where you are in your faith walk?
Yeah, I came pretty far with that, even since rehab. There was a lady there who had spoke about it, and I believed in God when I was younger. And I don't want to say I stopped believing in God, but I stopped looking for God for many years. And here, seeing someone that truly believes, that's just hope written all over it. I've come so far with God in my life since I've been here. I was the type of person, we grew up, we went to church on Christmas and Easter and no other times. So really didn't have any of that in my life until I got here. We have services twice a week, Thursdays and Sundays here, and honestly, I look forward to the one on Sunday. I can't even tell you how much I look forward to that. We're on lockdown still here right now. They just started it all back up, so hopefully we're going to get out of here pretty soon. But there's a church right up the road here that I absolutely love going to. Pastor Whitlock runs it, and it's hands down amazing. Doug Bush runs one here on Sunday, too. I usually hit 2 every single Sunday. So I never went to church until I got here. So God is working good in my life as of right now, for sure.
That's really good, Travis. That makes me happy to hear that. That really is, it's excellent. Well, look, thanks and congratulations to you. Like I said, 4 months, that's a lot. That's really, really powerful. So, keep showing up one day at a time, and that new creation, that's in motion. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Travis C., you hear a story. I think that's true for a lot of people, right? You're out living your life and you don't think about God, and, things happen and you meet people. I love people who are really sincere and really true and really know God. And, they're not wagging their finger at you. They're just trying to put an arm around you and say, come on in, share what I've got, experience what I've got. And I know for a fact that it's at City Mission. No one's out there, pounding their chest. There's just a lot of humility there and a lot of people who are on the path with Christ in their life. So really, really appreciate that with the work that City Mission does. And of course, over the decades, you think about the thousands and thousands and thousands of men and women who have found a new life in Christ because of the work that's done every moment, every day at City Mission. That's a really powerful thing. And I take great comfort knowing that City Mission is here in Western Pennsylvania, turning people into new lives. I'm John Hall, and the program is Bizburgh. It is sponsored today by City Mission. If you hear Travis's story and that resonates with you personally, or someone you love, you think, yeah, that's for me, or that's for someone I love, I would encourage you to check out City Mission online, citymission.org, or by calling right now, 724-222-8530, 724-222-8530. With us right now, again, is the president and the CEO of City Mission, a guy who's just out there day to day in the trenches. And Dean Gartland is back. Dean, to hear Travis's story, that's an encouragement for the work that you're doing. It allows you to show up and say, I see the fruits of my labor.
Well, yeah, and hearing Travis talk a little bit about the, being here 4 months, and where he is typically a person who takes off and just vanishes. That's not obviously it's not an unusual aspect of people in early recovery, because it's painful sometimes when you stop using drugs and alcohol, and it's some people go through withdrawal. Some people are just it's almost like going through a divorce, and it's very painful and hurtful, and so a lot of people just take off and do things. But being that he stays, and here he is at 4 months, there's a lot of hope there that as long as he continues to do this, works through those feelings that he has, because there's like a little clock inside of us that goes off and says, okay, it's time to go. And if we can work through and help our residents work through that, when that clock goes off, to work through those feelings, they have a much greater chance of being successful. And so for Travis, I think there's a lot of hope for his future, because it definitely appears that he's working through those clocks that go off inside of him that says time to go. He's saying, no, I'm staying. And so that's a great sign.
Yeah, that really is a great sign. And, credit to the staff that's there, to people who have, been down that road. People can identify and say, well, look, that guy's like me. And if he can do it, well, I can do it as well. So that model that City Mission has, that's a really powerful thing. Hey, Dean, just a few minutes left.
Okay.
I need to just talk about, the engine. And of course, I want to go back to Sweet Sunday, because, COVID ruins everything. And of course, the work that you're doing requires, the engine of money to allow people to stay there and to be fed there and to find Jesus there. So just take a minute and offer encouragement in these final few minutes that we have left, for people to either be a sponsor with the Sweet Sunday, or to go online on February 28th and be part of Sweet Sunday.
Yeah, this is again, as I said earlier, this is a major fundraising event of the year. It's always been a catalyst as we in the fall, as we ending winter and coming out of winter, and so many families enjoy Sweet Sunday, and being able to go to an event and hear entertainment throughout the day, enjoy a wide variety of sweets, and to be able to look at some auction items and get a ticket for the Wreath of Wealth. Well, all the proceeds from all of this goes right back into City Mission to help provide food, shelter, clothing, and hope for the 160 people that call City Mission home every night. And so I'm encouraging people to please not just think about the event, but think about what happened as a result of supporting an event like this. It really does change and transform lives. It gives people like Travis an opportunity for a brand new life. Where would he be today if City Mission wasn't here and he didn't come? He could have he'd be on the road somewhere else. But the fact that he came here, and so many others come here looking for shelter and safety and hope and a new life. And that's what happens when people give to the City Mission, when they are able to support events like we have with Sweet Sunday as a sponsor, or as a participant, somebody who buys some sweets, or volunteers their time. They're making this mission possible for the men, women, children, veterans that need this kind of help. And so their support is critically important for us to help us maintain and keep our doors open, to make sure that next person that walks down the street that says they have no hope, they have nowhere to go, and they're looking for some place that they can come and find that hope right here at City Mission.
Fabulous. Sweet Sunday, the virtual edition, February 28th. February 28th, put a little red circle around your calendar to mark that date. citymission.org is where Sweet Sunday is taking place this COVID year. Well, Dean, friend, always a pleasure. Thanks so much. Keep going strong. I know it's not easy work for you, but certainly appreciate and admire all the work that you're doing.
Well, thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Well, you see, by the resident Travis's story and by Dean's heart, the work that's being done. In a dark and broken world, it is good to have beacons of light, people who know and love Jesus and are on the front lines. And so we thank you for being with us today on Bizburgh. Once again, look for City Mission online at citymission.org. Mark your calendar for Sweet Sunday, February 28th. Until next time, we will see you. God be with you.